We'll be with you momentarily. Sorry about the delay.
Hey.
What's up?
Uh,
You okay?
yeah, I'm fine.
Frustrating evening.
Yes, very frustrating evening. But I'm alive.
Well, there you go. All you can ask for.
It makes me re-authenticate my camera every time.
Discord's a little goofy.
You can see me, right?
Yeah. I sure can.
You know it's your trivia, right?
Yeah, we'll keep it short.
The trivia? Or the episode?
Both.
Yeah. We've just had a very toddler afternoon.
Oh, toddlers.
Plus, I didn't do any of my homework. I apologize.
For the what?
I was going to go back and see what our resolutions were for last year and all that shit. So we're just making new ones.
Good.
Let's see. Podcast planning, join. And then recording.
Now recording.
Thank you, Craig. Dude, this is episode 90.
We're getting there. We should make episode 100 completely off topic. Make it about
episode 100 Super Mario.
Yeah, a Mario RPG review.
Oh shit, that'd be cool.
I mean, that should happen either way, but
let's just do it. You got trivia, right?
Yeah, technically.
Hey everybody, I'm back to being chipper this week. This is Highwind Herald, episode 90. I'm Wolfkins, and I've got soloist here with me, bringing us the trivia question this week. How you doing?
Hi, how are you doing?
Yeah, see that? I'm look at this. I'm just rolling right into it.
We're zooming today. And my trivia question is a repeat to make sure you're keeping you on your toes. Make sure you listen and remember stuff that I say.
I did this to you one time. I didn't think you'd return the tables around. All right, what do we got?
I am returning your tables around. What was the first Final Fantasy game to release in Europe? EU.
Mystic Quest.
Yeah. Good job. You did not get that the first time.
I did not.
You did not get that the first time, but you got that this time.
Yep, I got it this time. So
job.
Thanks. I was paying attention.
I just thought, you know what? Let's take it easy. Let's just ask an easy question. First time, I'm going to keep it short tonight. Something easy. I'm going to keep it easy.
So this will be on the shorter side of episodes. It's my fault. I'm a little late, and I've had a very frustrating night.
That sounds like it.
The show must go on.
Wolf versus toddler.
So we're here.
Guess who won?
Yeah, one of those.
Toddler.
Anyway, man, how have you been? What have you been up to in this past week? Any Final Fantasy worth mentioning?
Nope. I've gotten into, well, kind of. It's a little off topic, but can I bring it up, please? Because I found an anime I'm obsessed with now, and it's the next manga that you should 1000% read, because
And
it is very similar to Final Fantasy 1.
What is it?
It's called The Rising of the Shield Hero.
Okay.
I'll
put that on the list.
It is about this guy wakes up and he is just in a normal everyday place, and then he's a big nerd, and he goes to the store. He's like a college sophomore. He's 20. He goes to the library and he starts reading a book about these 4 chosen heroes: a sword hero, a spear hero, a bow hero, and a shield hero. And he's like, well, the shield hero, that's lame. Like, the other guys have weapons. That's just a defense. And then he like gets transported into the book along with 3 other random chosen people for the sword, the bow, and the spear, and he's the shield hero. So it's like the 4 warriors of light. They go straight to the king. They have to stop these incoming waves. It's a lot like they can see stats. It's got video game logic in it. So they level up, they increase their stats.
Cool.
They all have to go on their separate ways, and there's a really dramatic, and he ends up getting this party. He has to like become a slave owner for like it on paper. That sounds really sketchy, but like it's completely different when you watch it, because it's like it's so good. It's like that's what my life has been. I've been binging the ever-loving god out of it.
I've been I need to get back to it, but I was reading the Final Fantasy manga, that Lost Stranger, and it has a similar vibe to it, because he gets pulled into the worlds of Final Fantasy, and he has the ability to cast Libra, so he kind of has like an overlay of stuff too.
That's how it is. Similar. Like, he can look at things and see their level, and people can apply for class upgrades. It's very RPG like.
Interesting.
And the other heroes, like, he thinks he's in that book. One of the other heroes thinks he's in a VR MMO. Another one thinks he's in like a single player game, and another one thinks he's in like a show or a movie or something. So they're all in like they're from different versions of Tokyo.
Interesting.
But it's really, really, really.
So recommended for Final Fantasy fans.
I think so. There's a few.
There's on topic.
There's a few weird stuff in it that will take a bit to get through, like anime weird crap. Like, but
most anime has that.
Yeah, but you get past that, and it's seriously super awesome.
And that's why I prefer the manga. It's easier it's more palatable for me to deal with the anime stuff that I don't care for. In manga format. So.
It reminds me a lot of Final Fantasy 1. But like, imagine if one of the heroes was for some reason hated by everybody, and the only way to find somebody to trust him is to become a slave owner.
I don't understand.
It'll make sense. It'll make sense.
So it'll be a while. I just started The Promised Neverland. Dude, it gets dark real fast. And it's not that. It's pretty similar to Attack on Titan, concept wise.
Jesus.
Like, oh, we're in this place and we don't know what's going on in the outside world, and it's really dangerous out there. And I'm like, this sounds familiar. Anyway. That sounds interesting. I will have to put that on the list. I am guessing that because of that, you don't really have any Final Fantasy. I'm assuming you haven't had a chance to boot
similar.
up.
Well, 14, I am for sure going to be caught up on the MSQ next week.
You think so?
For sure.
You got 2 patches, right? Because I was playing it earlier today.
Yeah, it'll be fine. I'll be fine.
Yeah, I'm back. I'm back into 14. They had to launch a patch. They had to launch a patch right when I was in the middle of a bunch of other games. So I haven't touched Gotham Knights. I haven't touched Pokemon Violet in a couple days. I haven't touched Crisis Core in a couple days because I'm just playing 14 again. A new patch. I've started back up on the MSQ. Not only that, they updated the Island Sanctuary, so I've got 2 new ranks and a new mount to get there. And I just learned, and I don't know if this was new with the patch, but it was new for me. There's another mount that they've added to the Gold Saucer. So I did have the most expensive one at $2 million, and now there's a $4 million one, or 4 million MGP.
Yeah.
So I'm back, and then I
booted
it up and did me some PvP today. Did me a frontline. So I was like, oh man, I missed this game. I missed it so much.
I'm starting to get to a point to where I'm thinking about making that my PvE game.
Okay. Because
all I'm finding myself doing in WoW is PvP a lot of times. I'm raiding every week, but like I'm finding myself really enjoying the PvP. And I want to do PvE, and I want to play both games. So I think that's a good solution to play both games. I don't
Go
know.
for it.
I don't know though. Definitely we need to start pushing us playing together a little bit more.
I'm there.
It doesn't even have to be a hangout. Just like whenever you want to play, just let me know. I'll hop in. I got a machinist I'm leveling if you ever want to do one of those things.
Cool.
'Cause once he gets to 90, he'll probably end up being my new main. Whatever.
Yeah. Those are pretty cool. I was hard targeting some machinists earlier in PvP.
They're scary from what I remember.
Yeah, but no, the new patch so far is pretty good. From what okay, MSQ wise, I'm still in patch 6.2. I was towards the end of it and just didn't. That's when I kind of ended up taking my break. So I haven't gotten into the new story content yet, but just all the other stuff. I've been doing the Island Sanctuary. I've been having a blast. There's new things for me to mine or harvest, and then there's new animals, livestock for me to hunt down. So I've been doing that. Of course, there's new in the Gold Saucer again. This is me. In the Gold Saucer, there's new Leap of Faith maps for. I haven't gotten it yet. But the other thing is they opened up 6 new wards. So there's 6 new wards for each housing plot, which I think ends up being about 1,600 new available houses. So this is the best chance I'm ever going to have. I was the first one to put a bid in, and then people have already bid against me. I'm like, guys, there are 1,600 plots. Just pick a different one. Just let me have this, please. But the last time I checked, there were 5 instead of 150. So at least the odds are better.
That's really good odds, actually.
Fingers crossed. I really want this plot. Well, it's so pretty.
Just give me a room.
Gridania.
Just give me a room, and I'll be satisfied with you.
It's in Gridania. It's got a nice waterfall right behind it. I want it so bad.
That would be perfect.
So
it takes a grind to get in there and get that kind of stuff. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And then, I was like, ooh, there's a new season of PvP. And so, yeah. So my problem is this isn't the only game I want to play, but I'm afraid it's going to end up being the only game I do play for a little bit. Although I'm still enjoying Pokemon. I'm getting towards the end of that, I think. I've got 1 gym
left. Isn't the story so good?
Well, so far I haven't. Yeah, I mean they are, but there's been 3 kind of separate stories, which has been kind of interesting.
And the one with Arvin is super good.
Yeah,
he's my favorite character.
Him at first.
He's me too. Oh, he's my favorite, man.
Once you figure out what he's doing, I'm like, oh, okay. I thought he was shady AF.
He's such a good guy.
When I first met him.
Yeah, me too. I mean, he has bad guy written all over him. He has that stereotypical hairdo. He's got like a mullet or whatever.
But yeah, that's good. But yeah, so 14's back for me, for sure. It was nice though. It was nice to get in and revisit my red mage. I did a trial today. It was my first actual non-casual thing. I was like, okay, I'm actually I hit the point of the MSQ where I had to do a trial, and I'm like, okay, I can do this. It was intense.
I really want to get back into it. I'm just so hooked on WoW right now. I'm in there every single day. I'm so hooked, and I want a world where I can play both, but I know that's just not going to be a world that can exist.
I think, why not? I think it's
so
easy enough.
The content,
you got time. That's not the problem.
So similar. It's just like, okay, which one of these am I going to work on today? Because I can't really just pick it for PvE. I've got a guild I'm committed to in WoW. I can't just drop randomly. Even though I am really not the best DPS, so I don't think it'd be too much of a loss.
It'd be like,
I am struggling hard so far, real bad. But I don't know. I would love to just for once get in and do a few weeks of raid progression in 14 with a group. If that could get recruited into one that could be beginner friendly, because people in 14 are a lot nicer. From what I hear, from what
I've noticed. Yeah.
I mean, I still stand my ground. I just think people who play those genres of games are just buttholes in general. I just think they're all mean. But
I'm nice.
You're nice. Yeah, you're nice. To people but me, but you're still nice overall.
In my trial earlier, somebody went down, and I did have a heart attack because it took me more than a second and a half to res them. I was like, oh, someone's gonna yell at me.
That's PTSD from the glory days, man. That's PTSD from the. Why is this hunter doing 13k and not 15k DPS? Do you even know your rotation? No, that's PTSD.
Yeah.
They can't do that in 14. Although even though I am playing on PC, I thought about, I was like, what if I did download some add-ons?
I think those are bannable if they catch you with them.
Yeah, and I stream, so I don't think it'd be a good idea.
Oh yeah, definitely don't do that.
Yeah,
Definitely
I
don't do that.
think it'd be a good idea.
If
But
they, that's how they get you.
I'm gonna squeeze. I forgot all about that when I made my schedule, but I'm gonna try to squeeze 14 into my schedule this weekend, maybe. To like,
now don't forget, you still owe us some Crisis Core.
oh, you Crisis Core. Crisis Core is gonna have to wait until One Piece Odyssey's done. I forgot to mention I also have been streaming that. It's fantastic if you're a JRPG lover. It's not the most complex JRPG, but it's very good. And if you like One Piece, it's a great game. So get that.
I've actually heard the same.
It's not the most complex thing, and it won't make you think too hard. But
sounds perfect.
Still it's so good so far.
That sounds lovely.
We're loving it on stream. Well, I'm loving it on stream. I'm loving it to death. So once that's over, Crisis Core will start. But I might cut some Odyssey time this weekend for 14. Maybe on Saturday or Friday. I don't know. So we'll have to see.
I might be convinced to stay up later Saturday night and play with you.
Really? Okay. We got a community thing happening Saturday, I think. I offered it to the people. I was like, if you guys, I'll be free from here to here to play games with people. If you want to, let me know. So you're the first one who said that. So I'll just write you in.
Nice.
I'll just write you in and we'll do some.
It'll be later. I'm talking like 10, 11 or something.
Yeah.
I'll sit up with you and play for a couple hours.
I will. Heck yeah. We'll do some stuff on there.
We'll do some stuff.
Absolutely.
And I may have a house by then. We'll see. It's Thursday. The results get posted on Thursday. I was thinking it was tomorrow. So we'll know. I'll know by Saturday if I've got a house or not.
Hey, and if you're listening to this on Sunday after all this is already done, sorry.
My bad. You should be listening to our episodes the second they drop.
Yeah. Wait, they drop Friday, don't they?
Yeah.
Why did I say Sunday?
Typically. So here's the thing. Well, yeah, okay. I do this for fun. This is a hobby. This and Kupo Quest are hobbies for me. I try my best to have the episode published by 6 a.m. Friday morning. Doesn't always happen.
That's fine.
So,
perfectly fine.
Last week, I think it was still Friday, but I think it was more like 6 p.m. So, but yeah, so they come out when they come out. I'm trying my best to be consistent. The holidays also kind of got me off track with things, And then Kupo Quest, those videos take like hours to render, so just trying to balance all that stuff. But yeah, Fridays is typically when this drops.
Yeah.
So, we record on Tuesdays, and it's still, I struggle with 3 days to get it turned around, but
it's tough. And trust me, we just worked out a weekly schedule for my videos too. There's a lot of work that goes into it. So don't give us crap. And by us, I mean him. Don't give him crap.
Luckily for Kupo Quest, I build it as a live unedited game, so I can just port it from Twitch. But I still do a little bit on that I still need to render because I throw in some credits and stuff like that. But
for sure.
Yeah, but still, it's like 2.5 hours easy. And then it takes another, hour to upload to YouTube. So
that's not your fault, though. That is just a long process. You know something I noticed?
What's that?
You and I both have very decorated backgrounds now.
Yeah, now we do.
Sorry, audio listeners.
Mine was much better, but yours is catching up.
Dude, there's not a square inch of my background that's not covered in something.
I know. Those wanted posters are like
they're super cool. They're like a wall. Paper. It's so cool. It was such a good idea.
I actually wasn't sure if it was wallpaper or not at first.
Yeah, I love it. Oh my gosh, and it looks so cool when you're like looking at it. Sorry, as you can tell, there wasn't necessarily a great plan for today's episode.
No, there was. Again, this one's on me. So the plan was, and we're still going to do half of it. The plan was to do a check-in for our New Year's resolutions from last year. So, but I've been super busy, and I forgot to go back and double check those. So what we are going to do is I'll get those double checked for next time. We'll just do a quick check-in. But we are going to make our New Year's resolutions for 2023, of course, Final Fantasy related. So do you have any off the top of your head, things that you want to do? And I don't remember exactly what you said last year, but I'm pretty sure you said at least play 13 or 8.
I think I said both.
And you didn't do either.
I didn't even start either. I started 8.
Roll that over?
No, I'm gonna just cut out 13. That's not gonna happen. 8, I really need to. I'm not gonna stream it. I'm starting to discover that I'm really bad at streaming turn-based games. I'm just
Okay.
making an exception for the One Piece game, obviously. So it's just not good content for me. So I'm not gonna stream it. I will stream Final Fantasy Crisis Core though, because that's not
turn-based.
It's just turn-based. Unless I'm talking to somebody, it's just there's nothing to talk about. And it's not that they're bad games. Yeah. It's just nothing to talk about.
Well, especially those older Final Fantasies. Sometimes it just you get into the grind cycle, and there's like, what do you talk about? Unless you have someone you're actively talking to.
I would enjoy that game a lot more on a backbone on my phone, probably.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
Man. So I double checked, and it does have controller support. Which, by the way, side note, everybody, I'm super happy for you that you finally got your Pixel remasters on a console. Consoles use a controller, so all right, now it's time for us to get controller support on our Androids. Okay, so I listen. If Square Enix, I broke down and bought all these on mobile when you put them out first. Just give me the controller. That's all I want.
Please.
That's all I ever really wanted.
Come on, please. So I'm gonna make my New Year's resolution to beat Final Fantasy VIII.
Okay.
And I'm not gonna make that it. That's a little. I just knew that would be it. This is like the third year in a row that's been it.
I think you've said it. Yeah, 3 years now.
Yeah. And you know what? I'm gonna beat Final Fantasy VIII and join a raid progression guild or free company in 14.
Oh, okay.
I light one for newcomers, one that will allow me to learn, and I will do that. If you want to do that with me, we can do that together.
Well, I'm not jumping free companies. I like my free company, but I wouldn't be opposed to a raid group, but it depends on scheduling.
And maybe starting a Highwind Herald raid group.
Yeah. Remember the last time we tried to start a raid group, though?
No, that was horrible. That wasn't in 14 for context. That was in WoW, and it was not fun.
To be fair, we did have 8 people, though.
It was so toxic.
Yeah, it was.
We had a bunch of people who liked each other, and then one guy who just hated the world.
And ruined it for pretty much everybody else.
And he was like, "Oh, could the good rogue come over here?" It's like, it's not my fault. I'm playing a bad spec I refuse to switch off of because I love it. Like, it's not my fault. I mean,
it's not my fault.
Just make the spec better. It's fun. I don't care if it's bad. It's fun.
Yeah, that was. But I personally, I think I'm better at 14 than I was at WoW, and I think the controller's a big part of that. But yeah, and I don't know, the mechanics are. I don't know. There's something about it. There's something about the way they telegraph them in this game that makes more sense to me than needing the add-ons.
On that
for like,
note, really quickly, WoW is becoming a lot more like 14, minus the telegraphed mechanics.
Makes sense.
So WoW raiding is extremely hard. It is 14 without the telegraphed stuff. It's some of it's telegraphed, but it's nowhere near as obvious as 14.
The thing about 14 is some of its content, even stuff in the story that's not necessarily raids, like the trials you come across, some of those are still really intense.
They are.
Like the trial I did earlier, it was doable. You know, only one person went down. We didn't really struggle with it, but still it was intense. Like there was a lot of stuff going on, and it's like, whoa.
In 14, when that happens, the red mage, they'll raise you 9 times and just not say a word because they're probably on controller and don't want to deal with the hassle of screaming at you. So
I did.
God bless that.
I got 2 player accommodations after that.
Good. Good. I never pay attention to that. I just throw it on the tank and get my credit.
Oh, I pay attention to the ones I get.
I do that.
But,
yeah.
I usually try to give it to the tank or the healer. If I'm doing a dungeon and it was just one of those runs that was like purely easy, like it was one of those we all just kind of mindlessly did it, give it to the tank or healer. If there's another red mage, you give it to them. So,
fair enough. But those are my resolutions: 8 and 14 raid progression. Other than that, if I beat 8 and 13, I've beaten every mainline Final Fantasy game. I don't really care to beat 13. I think that'll just have to that'll happen before I die.
Still didn't hit 11.
You know what? Actually, I'll make another resolution. Get into 11 a little bit.
Okay.
I'll make that another one because I've been wanting to do that for years anyway. And I would have done that before now if that launcher didn't suck. I would have done that. I was really in the mood to play it one day, and I spent 4 hours and still didn't get in.
The launcher's not great.
Horrible.
The launcher's not great. It's dated for sure.
I'm gonna find a way into that free version.
Speaking of that, I am literally, I think, 25% away from having beaten every mainline Final Fantasy. So my main New Year's resolution is to finish Final Fantasy VI, and it's gonna be harder than it sounds.
Apparently,
because I'm the one person in the world that's not in love with this game.
Apparently, you're having a very major Uncharted 3 syndrome.
I think so. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I'm not. It's just not grabbing me the way I did. Finally, I'm in the world of Ruin. I got Sabin or Sabin. How do people say his name?
Sabin, I think.
Yeah, and
kind of like, I mean, if you say cabin and not cabin, gotta say Sabin.
Well, that's a good point. And I'm fighting some kind of tentacle monster on a ship, and that's where I am. So yeah, I mean, I'm well over the halfway point, so I will finish that game this year. Let's see what else. Gonna keep going with Kupo Quest for sure. I'm having a lot of fun with that. I think that maybe even expanding that, doing some one shots, and maybe even just expanding the Kupo Quest, what I'm doing with that a little bit more. Let's see. 14. I'm getting a house. Okay, I'm getting a house. That's my.
That one's not in your control either.
I have no control over it, but I'm making it happen. I'm making it a resolution because I think the sheer willpower of me saying it will put things out in the universe.
I sure hope so.
I do too. I just want one so bad. The irony of this is I'll probably be really interested in it for a week and then forget about it. But I don't care. I want one. Like I want it to be there.
Exactly. I mean, it'll be fine. You'll love it and go there all the time.
It's like having a place. I want to decorate the garden. Anyway, so that's one of my resolutions. Let's see. We don't really know if we're. I'm gonna definitely beat Crisis Core. Gonna beat 7. There's a 7 remake sequel coming out this year.
I think so.
Or is it next year?
16 too. I mean, there's
16.
No question about 16 though. That'll be the only thing I do
sure.
when that comes out. I'm not streaming 16. Not doing it. I'm gonna plop my butt in my recliner and enjoy every second of that to myself.
Nice. This is not Final Fantasy related, but I do think I want to throw out there. I think I'm gonna try to do Chrono Trigger this year.
Ooh.
Yeah. So it's adjacent. I already have it. I bought it on my phone. It has controller support.
I played Chrono Trigger on Steam for like 3 hours.
Didn't finish it.
I fell in love with it. I fell in love with it, and Steam deleted my file.
Oh no!
And I've not went back since. I played 3 hours in one sitting and got him. I was like, that was great. Like genuinely
I played
great.
It for man, I didn't beat it, but I probably got about halfway through when I was younger. I don't even remember if it was on PlayStation or Super Nintendo. Like I don't even remember what I played this on. I just remember that I played it and I liked it. It must have been PlayStation because I think I was playing it around the same time I was playing Wild Arms.
I have Wild Arms 3 on my PlayStation 5.
Yeah, me too. And I just noticed
free.
that Wild Arms, the original one, is on PlayStation Plus now.
Where's Wild Arms 4?
I don't know, but Wild Arms 4 is great.
It's the only one I played.
Is it? I loved Wild Arms 4.
It was really good. Was it 4 or 5? No, it was 4. I don't think there is 5.
I don't remember.
Those games are good.
So yeah, I think I'm going to go with that. I would like to. I mean, last year I'm pretty sure my resolution was to make it through 1 through 6, and I got almost there. went through 5.5.
Yeah.
So I did okay. I'll double check those for sure, and we'll have it next week. I'm sorry, what was that?
5 3/4, really.
Yeah, and there were some other things that I think I might have been able to push through 6, but I also got distracted with some really great games that came out last year. And that's always what happens. But as long as Final Fantasy keeps up, you know what else? Here's another resolution I'm going to make. I'm not going to say that I'm going to get into it so hard that it's like a new hobby, but I want to play at least a couple games of the Final Fantasy trading card game. Like that's another resolution. I want to at least play some games and get back into that a little bit.
I would love to if I had people to play with. I mean, I got you, but you live far away, and I don't know. I mean, it's just this it's very not encouraging. I'll do it.
I just want to play it. It's fun.
So what is? Are you done? I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's it.
What is one New Year's resolution that's not to do? Just one.
Uh. I hadn't thought about that. I wasn't expecting. I wasn't expecting that. Well, what do you have?
I got two, kind of.
All right, let's
Because
hear.
they're equally important. Become healthier and
Okay.
change my nutrition. Not using the word diet because diets are temporary. Nutrition is permanent. Change my
You've
nutrition.
been reading some self-help books, sounds like.
I've been talking to friends.
Okay.
I heard that from a friend. Change all of that. I don't necessarily want to lose weight because that'll happen. I just want to be healthier. I just want to be able to walk around without being out of breath. My other one is to get through this weird funk I've created for myself in the past 4 years of living by myself, where I physically irk at the idea of talking to other humans and try to force myself into social situations more and talk
That's
to
a good
people
one.
that I don't talk. Like, you can get in Koopa Quest with 4 people you'd never known before, and you're fine. I would not have done that.
I mean, I got a little nervous.
I would not have been able to do that. I would have canceled. Like, I would have canceled and then felt horrible. But I just can't. I'm trying to make myself. So far, I'm doing a little better at it, but
You're fine. You got to put yourself out there.
It's so hard. I'm trying to get better at that.
I do feel like, of the two of us, and I don't necessarily consider myself an extrovert, but I feel like I'm a little more extroverted.
Yeah, I used to be really extroverted when I was younger, when I was in like high school and stuff. But like, everyone has high school confidence. Is when they're like,
Well,
when they're like,
you always had problems with strangers. I remember, like, even when you were younger, you wouldn't sit next to the stranger at the movie theater. You'd always make someone else take the.
Always took the armrest and like rubbed me with their arm, and it was so uncomfortable.
Okay, honest question: when is the last time you've been on a plane?
This is the last time I've been on a plane. Oh, last time I was on a plane was in 2015.
How'd you do there?
I sat between mom and dad.
Oh, okay. You went with okay.
So I was fine. I sat between mom and dad, and it was really funny because I think like dad fell asleep. There's a really funny story I could tell, but about mom, but I'm not going to.
Yeah, planes are the worst.
But if you got the window seat next to a person you know, I think they're great.
Yeah. But if you're sitting next to someone you don't know and they want to talk the entire way, they're awful. So,
I couldn't do it.
So I guess those are both great. Those are both awesome. Yeah, you need to get out. Even if it's online, just meeting people's fun.
Even on like 14 and WoW, I have such a hard time talking to people. Like it's so, because there's no reason not to. I don't say a word in my raid guild. I don't speak.
Oh really?
No,
you guys
scared.
don't use comms or anything?
They do. I don't. I just sit there and do my, and it's just like,
from the stories you told me about your raid group, there's no way you're the weirdest person there.
No. Okay, that my classic raid group I talk to. No, I talk to them like crazy.
Okay.
Now I'm talking about my retail raid group. They're like the serious guys who've been doing it since vanilla. And they're so good and serious, and I'm like, I'm not good enough for these guys, so I just like freak out the whole.
That's
3
imposter
hours.
syndrome. You
the
gotta get rid of that.
Whole 3 hours, I'm like,
syndrome.
I really messed up a mechanic last night, and the raid leader messaged me. He's like, "So you don't know the fight, huh?" And I'm like, I do. I'm just stupid. I'm sorry. I just really messed it up. I'm so sorry.
That's a bad feeling.
It is. I'm like, I know the fight. I'm just stupid.
So I guess for me, I think I'd maybe like to do a little bit more of the streaming. I've been enjoying that. Maybe do some other tabletop type games. I think that's where I enjoy streaming stuff. I don't really want to be a video game streamer. It's just because I like that as a personal activity. But yeah, I wouldn't mind streaming some other things, some additional one shots. I'm actually, I mean, if we're plugging stuff. So we got Koopa Quest, and then starting on tomorrow, I'm actually joining another show as a player.
Send me the link to that. I'd like to watch it. I'm not streaming tomorrow. I can throw it on while I level my.
So I'm not running this one, so I'll just be a player in that one. So yeah, that's going to be Pandora's Box. I can put some information. So I'm doing that. So now I'll be on 2 actual plays, and I wouldn't mind even just doing some more on the Koopa Quest channel, some one shots here and there. I enjoy that. So just producing a little more tabletop content, not specifically just D&D either. There's some other D&D's my favorite system so far, but there's some other games I wouldn't mind trying. There's one called Masks where you play superheroes. That one sounds fun.
Isn't there Pathfinder?
Pathfinder, yes, but it's like D&D, but from what people tell me, it's more technical, and I don't I don't want to think more than I already do.
That's crazy.
And if I'm going to learn a new system, I kind of want to learn something in a different genre. Does that make sense? It's like Pathfinder's still that kind of like fantasy sword and sorcery. I'd rather do something like superheroes or The Walking Dead. The Walking Dead has a tabletop game like D&D coming out later this year. So
all you gotta do is find people and
probably do some streaming of that, I think.
That'd be great.
So yeah, that's my non-Final Fantasy. Although with Kupo Quest, it ends up being a little Final Fantasy. So
absolutely. I just, New Year's resolutions, we always talk about them for a month and a half and forget about them, but I guess the third resolution is to not give up on my resolutions.
I will say, with these resolutions for Final Fantasy, I've been doing okay.
No,
like,
I haven't been doing horrible.
All, but the last couple of years, I've at least pushed to do the ones that I said I would.
I've been doing
but
horrible.
Only for this show.
Like, oh my God. I'll start 8. I think it's because I'm trying to stream it. I'm just not good at streaming it. I get bored. I feel like that'd be a really good game to play while you had the TV on. Yeah.
It was a really great game to play while holding my newborn, because she was born the same year that the remaster came out. And when she came, I hadn't finished it yet.
Oh,
so I was sitting up. I was sitting up late. It's a great memory, because she was just asleep on my chest while I was beating Ultimacia for the the pixel for the remaster. And the movie starts going and she starts stirring. I'm like, oh, please no. Please just let me finish the movie before you wake up.
That's adorable. I remember being over at your house and you're playing Shadowbringers and you got to the part where you had to play as Thancred and fight against that one guy. And the lights were off. That music was playing. She was asleep in your wife's arms or something. And I was just... The TV was all the way down, and I was just watching this. I was like, so peaceful.
Yeah. The TV was down, and we were playing like Disney lullaby music. Because that's what she used to nap to. So it's actually, that's the soundtrack of Stormblood for me. Because I played the vast majority of that with like Disney lullaby music in the background with it turned down. So.
I can't believe you didn't get to listen to Stormblood music.
I would. I mean, I'd turn it up to hear it, but then, or when I played by myself, I would hear it.
I still get goosebumps going to Ralger's Reach and hearing that music. Oh my God. Yeah. And the music in the Crystarium is good. The music in Shadowbringers, obviously.
Yeah, that was from Shadowbringers.
The music in the Ultima Thune and Endwalker.
Yeah.
That's
you've not been to Troya yet, have you?
I don't think so. What's that?
Okay, it's one of the newer zones. I think it was 6.2. I couldn't remember if you got in there in the MSQ. I love the music there. The music there is really cool.
I got to log back in, man. I think it's time.
Yeah, I think it is time.
Speaking of time, it's time.
I think it might be time on this one.
Linktree.
Linktree.
Getting ahead of you.
Yep. If you want to check out him, go to his Linktree. If you want to check out me, go to mine, wolfkins.com. You can also check us out, Highwind Herald, on Twitter. I'm not super active on there at the moment, but I still try to post every now and then on the Highwind Herald Twitter. I'm at Wolfkins on Twitter. I'm a little more active on Hive these days, also Wolfkins.
I need to get more active on Hive.
Let's see. You can go to highwindherald.com where you can find all of our past episodes and show notes. If you're interested in D&D, you can check out Kupo Quest, which is every Monday at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time, and that's twitch.tv/KupoQuest. But all of those videos go up on our Highwind Herald YouTube channel on Wednesday or sometimes Tuesday. I actually just put this week's episode up right before this. And then if you're interested, I'll be streaming. I'll be joining another D&D stream starting tomorrow. I am playing Lorelei Emmerich, a Dhampir, which is like a half-human, half-vampire warlock. So we'll be doing that, and I think that's twitch.tv/alphanova95. And I can put the links to the show notes. Not Final Fantasy related, but if you're interested in that or just want to, hear me play some D&D some more, that's where I'll be.
Absolutely. I'll be there.
So there you go. I think that's it. I do apologize for this being a little bit of a shorter episode, maybe a little less polished than normal, but you know what? We're just two brothers that like to hang out and talk Final Fantasy, and sometimes this is what happens.
That we never promised professionalism.
No,
never once.
If we do, then we've been replaced by body snatchers.
Better like doppelgangers.
Yep. All right, man. It's been great. Actually, you've lifted my spirits this afternoon.
Well,
so thanks for that.
Good, because I'm about to fall asleep now.
All right. Yeah.
It hit me like a
sleep
train.
sounds good. All right.